Welcome back. If you've just joined us, you're watching the News at 10 on Tamil Television, coming to you live from Lagos. A reminder of our top stories. Rowdy session greets National Dialogue Committee in Benin City. Worrisome security situation in Yobe, Governor advises presidency to deploy more troops. Attorney generals meet in Abuja, discuss need to harmonize the penal and criminal codes. And dozens of migrants die of thirst in Niger as they try to cross the Sahara Desert. Just a quick reminder to you that there are a number of ways that you can keep up with all our top stories. There's the website channelstv.com and on youtube.com/channelsweb. To get us on the go, then it's m.channelstv.com to view us live on an iPad, iPhone or BlackBerry. And you can also download the Channels TV app for Android and Nokia 920 from their respective stores. But of course, the interaction doesn't end there, as you can interact with Channel's Eyewitness feature on our Android and Windows 8 platforms. So if you have a picture or video to share with us, all you need to do is download the Channels TV Android app on your device, swipe to reveal the Eyewitness menu, and then follow the instructions to share your reports, your pictures and videos. Well, let's just take one more story here, one more story on politics just before we go to Abuja, where the All Progressive Congress in Anambra State appears to be growing by the numbers as supporters of opposition parties are beginning to identify with it. In Negusisio and Njikoka local government area, the party received over 500 decampees from the All Progressive Grand Alliance and the United Progressives Party, including the former chairman of the Board of Trustees, Mr. George Ozodinobi. The APC governorship candidate, Senator Chris Ngige, described the action as a positive development.
Supporters of the All Progressives Congress and residents of the different communities in Njikoka local government area received the Ngige campaign train at Abagana, one of the major towns in the area. Majority of the people here are students. But the big surprise of the day was the official presentation of the former chairman of the Board of Trustees of the United Progressives Party, George Ozodinobi, who recently led hundreds of its followers to join forces with APC. The Ngige campaign organization also received 11 Sienna buses from Mr. Ozodinobi to boost its campaign activities.
I humbly present the keys of these 11 Siennas to continue for the benefit.
The campaign team got a rousing reception as Senator Chris Ngige handed over the party's symbol to members who left the All Progressives Grand Alliance for the APC. Senator Ngige met with the traditional rulers from Anambra North Senatorial District to formally inform them of his ambition and to be briefed on the areas of their needs. After the meeting, Senator Ngige spoke about the decampees from Abga.
We caught a big fish in our political fishing net. Honorable Azoka Okwosa, former senatorial candidate of Abga, a very close ally, political ally of Chief Odumegwu Ojukwu Dikemba.
Our people have seen him, they have heard from him, they will make their decision. But my prayer is that God will guide him in what he is doing.
The team arrived in Achala, Idemili North local government area to wind up its activities for the day. In spite of its late arrival, residents surged out in large numbers to welcome them.
Well, from Anambra, we take you live now to our Abuja studios, where Linda Akigbe is standing by. Hi, Linda. Yes, indeed, Idioma. And now the news from Abuja, the Federal Capital Territory. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Aminu Tambuwal, has asked federal lawmakers to be mindful that the immunity they enjoy does not extend to illegal acts. The Speaker also stressed that the relationship between the legislature and the executive is cordial, but added that the legislature has a duty to provide certain checks and balances as set down by the Constitution. Mr. Tambuwal was speaking at a workshop for federal lawmakers on legislative practices in Abuja.
You will find also, as you discuss the privileges and immunity of legislators, that while the law protects the parliamentarian over comments made on the floor of the House, that privilege does not extend to any illegality perpetrated by a legislator. In other words, being a parliamentarian does not place you above the law. Indeed, it imposes on you a responsibility to abide by the law at all times. We will therefore be breaking the law if we do not perform these tasks, which are our oversight functions. Public hearings or investigative hearings are therefore merely the continuation of our constitutionally specified duties, and we perform these duties with no other desire than to correct lapses in the system that have become inimical to public good.
In the face of the renewed attacks by insurgents in Yobe State, Governor Ibrahim Gaidam has asked the federal government to deploy more troops with sophisticated weapons to the troubled state. This call is coming 4 days after a ferocious attack on the state's capital, Damaturu, which lasted for about 8 hours. The governor was speaking today after inspecting the havoc wreaked in some security formations by Boko Haram members as a result of the coordinated attack. The governor announced that the families of those killed in the attack will be assisted with a sum of 1 million naira, while those that sustained injuries will receive 500,000 naira and above, depending on the degree of the injury sustained. The Judicial Commission of Inquiry. The federal government has advised persons living in rural communities to desist from open defecation, saying it is largely responsible for the outbreak and spread of cholera. At the 2013 Annual Physicians Week organized by the Nigeria Medical Association in Abuja, the Minister of Health, Professor Onibuchichukwu, decried the number of deaths recorded as a result of cholera. 74 persons have so far been confirmed dead out of 333 cases reported in different parts of the country.
Currently, there's a cholera outbreak in the country. A number of states are involved. Some of them are controlled now. We started from Ogun State, which is generally controlled now, together with Lagos State. But in addition now, we've had cholera this year in Oyo State, in Zamfara State, in Sokoto State, in Katsina State, in Plateau, in Nasarawa. As of yesterday, 373 persons have been affected, out of which we lost such a huge number of 74. Whereas the health sector only plays the role of advocacy currently and sensitization in terms of prevention. But once cholera breaks out, it becomes the responsibility of the sector to ensure that nobody dies. So the case fatality rate is often a measurement of how the health sector has performed. But the outbreak of the disease is more sectoral than people realize. Because the first issue is about open defecation, which is not under my mandate as Minister of Health, and how all of us can collectively work in our hometowns, in our states, to stop this open defecation.
People suffering from vesico-vaginal fistula, VVF, in the country may soon heave a sigh of relief as the Ministry of Women Affairs has distributed equipment to different VVF centers as part of efforts to address their plight. The Director of Women Affairs at the Ministry, Dr. Ijeoma Onuagu, who spoke at a meeting in Abuja, said the gesture would help in reintegrating the women into the society
as well as build up their confidence. Dr. Unagu also promised that the federal government will continue to support them.
Development has responsibility of focusing on the social aspect of VVF, being the rehabilitation and reintegration of patients, mobilizing support and advocating for redress of the issues that bring about VVF, while the Federal Ministry of Health deals with the health aspects such as the repairs. Cannot be overemphasized in view of the fact that for the first time the issue of VVF has attracted federal government's attention by providing a dedicated budget line in 2013 national budget for the repair of VVF victims.
And that's all from the FCT. Now back to you, Ijoma.
Right, thanks a lot, Linda. That's Linda Akigwe live there in the nation's capital, Abuja. Now, when the news at 10 returns, public hearing on the NCAA armored cars purchase continues in Abuja. Please join us again.